All of my beautiful cars are missing. Look at this. Isn't this heartbreaking? All of the beauty that I had on my driveway was confiscated by the pagans, but it'll be back. And I realized, men, us, even me, top G, all of us were ugly, right? We're beasts. We are not designed to be aesthetically beautiful. We're designed to be ugly, but we built beautiful things. Every day I come out into my driveway, I come out to my garden, I look around, I'm a little bit sad that my cars are missing. I contemplate buying 20 new ones on the debit card, because I'm a G, but I'm like, they'll come back, no big deal. And then I'm looking for beauty elsewhere in the world, and I'm starting to realize that everything is fucking ugly. Everything's ugly. They're making everything ugly on purpose because they're trying to assault your mind and destroy your psyche. When I said this to Tristan, I said, everything's ugly. He's like, what do you mean? I said, literally everything you can name is ugly. The people in the television adverts are ugly. The people on the billboards are ugly. The new buildings they make are ugly. They're building everything ugly on purpose because they're trying to assault you and attack you. I decided to put this on Twitter. I said, why is everyone ugly now? Where's the beauty? Because you know what? I'm a soft guy. I'm a sentimental man. I just want to take my ugly self. I'm ugly enough. It's fine. I'm built for war. I'm not built for aesthetics. I'm built for function. Take my ugly self, get into my beautiful Ferrari with a beautiful woman who's wearing beautiful diamonds. I've got a beautiful diamond watch. We drive away to a beautiful hotel. I like to see pretty things. I like beautiful things. That's what I like. Why the fuck am I working so hard if I don't get to go and see beautiful things in beautiful places? Beauty is what life is about. But everything's ugly. So I put this on Twitter. Why is everything ugly? And of course there's some DNG, some idiot with an opinion. People aren't ugly, you just have Eurocentric beauty standards. What I have is eyes. And my eyes can see what is attractive and what isn't. So of course I replied that and said, there's nothing to do with Eurocentric beauty standards. This is to do with my eyes and the fact that you're trying to convince me that ugly things are beautiful because you're trying to attack my psyche and poison my mind. Because once you can convince me to ignore my own eyes, then I'm completely open for the slave programming because you want me to become an agent of the Matrix like you, and I refuse. Nothing to do with Eurocentric beauty standards, but I decided to be more articulate with my answer and destroy her. So I said very simply, I would argue to the end of human time that something which is difficult to obtain and achieve is intrinsically more beautiful than something which is easy to obtain and achieve. Let's start with buildings. If you build a building and it's a big boring square, like they're building now, every single building is a boring square, architects put in no effort. In the 1800s, we built these beautiful ornate structures. Now everything they build is ugly. If you do that, that takes less effort than building a big structure which is ornate, with beautiful, intrinsic, small details and sculpture. It's easy. So the fact that it's easier to do means it must be, by default, less aesthetically pleasing to the mind. It must be less beautiful because it was so easy to achieve. You can extrapolate this out towards people, right? If you find a woman who's in perfect shape, her body was difficult to achieve, that's attractive. The people in the adverts today are just people. They're just born, they eat a bunch of donuts, and they look like shit, and we're gonna sit here and say that that's beautiful. It's not beautiful because anybody could have done it. It's not unique. Value is intrinsically linked to scarcity. If something is not scarce, it's not valuable. The reason gold is valuable is because it's scarce. It doesn't just pop up on the floor. If it was everywhere, it would have no value at all. So when people try to argue with me about Eurocentric beauty standards or this other garbage, I simply say, if somebody looks in a way which was not difficult to achieve and is extremely common, I would not argue that to be beautiful. I would argue that to be commonplace, boring. And beautiful things require effort to achieve, whether it's a building or whether it's a person elsewhere. The reason they are trying to make everything ugly is because they don't want you to have any vested emotional interest in anything. If they build a beautiful building in a particular town, you're gonna love that town. You're gonna care about what happens to that town. You're gonna care about who lives in that town. You're gonna care about the crime rates. You're gonna care about the fentanyl epidemic. You're gonna care about anything that happens in that town because there's all these beautiful buildings and it's where you grew up and you feel emotionally attached to that town. If they make everything ugly all of the time, then you don't care. Why do you care? Big glass building, big square building, big dildo building, big boring building. Who gives a shit if they ruin the place? None of it matters. by destroying your emotional investment in the places you live and destroying your emotional investment in basically anything, they leave you completely and utterly open to be enslaved. Everything is ugly. Start paying attention. Look around you. Everything's ugly. They're doing it on purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my very, very best to bring some beauty to the world. I'm going to start, once I'm released from my prison, I'm going to start doing beautiful things. I'm going to go to the most beautiful places in the world, with the most beautiful women in the world, with the most beautiful cars in the world. I'm going to have a beautiful hot air balloon. I'm going to have a beautiful dinner. And it's going to be aesthetically pleasing to look at. And it's going to be beautifully filmed with beautiful music. It's all going to be beautiful. I'm bringing beauty back. That's what I'm here to do. As the most Googled, most famous man on the planet, I'm going to bring some beauty back to your eyes so you're not stuck looking at overweight Calvin Klein models and some fucking idiot on the internet trying to convince you that these unattractive people are attractive because of your Eurocentric beauty standards and other bullshit matrix-minded slave programming they are trying to inject into your fucking psyche. I'm going to save the world through beauty.